Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is my self-introduction video, and I am your colleague, your fellow student here in class at Concordia University. This is going to be for Doc 7100 Research Methods and Doc 7410 Seminar 1, Drafting the Dissertation Introduction. So who am I? I'm Jonny Ploke. I'm a student. I'm also a part-time kinesiology and adapted physical education instructor, and I'm doing the doctorate of exercise science. And I chose exercise science because I like the breadth of it and I like the curriculum. When you kind of scroll through what classes we're going to take, that one spoke to me the most. And I want this credential and the knowledge base to serve a wide population, from elite athletes to individuals with disabilities and everyone in between. So my academic background, like many of you, I studied kinesiology in the past. I have my Bachelor's of Arts in Kinesiology and a Bachelor's of Science in Exercise Physiology. I got that at Chico State over here in California. And I got my master's degree from Logan University in strength and conditioning. And I actually accomplished this when I was living in New Zealand for about 13 months. So that was fantastic. I had the opportunity to intern under a professional rugby team, Moana Pacifica, specifically a super rugby team, which is like the second highest league they can get before being on the national team. And that was probably 2 years ago now. So it was a great experience, and I'm ready to get back into school. So here we are. I used to hold certifications through NASM, nutrition, personal training, strength conditioning, all that good stuff. Do I hold on to those now? Not really, because I feel like I have all this formal education behind me. So don't really need it since I don't work in a commercial gym. I run my own gym and I work at the college. So work experience, I've been a personal trainer since 2018, about 8 years now. That's what I did as soon as I graduated from my undergrad. And then when I moved to New Zealand, I transferred into some more online coaching, and I still did some in person there, got some more experience working with athletes. And I was also a strength and conditioning intern / assistant coach for different colleges, working with like rugby teams, netball, soccer, all kinds of different sports, lots of sports, but mostly rugby when I was abroad. 2024, I became a kinesiology and adaptive physical education instructor. So I teach like a personal training certification program we have there, as well as aquatics, weight room, chair fitness, the football strength conditioning program, hiking, kickboxing, cardio kickboxing, stuff like that. So really happy about that. And that's my work experience. I'm pretty much all in on exercise science, if you can't tell. My hobbies, this might be a shocker for some of you, but I like to exercise crazy in every single facet, right? I like to do group workouts, high intensity interval training. I like to go for some longer runs. I like powerlifting. I like cross training, bodybuilding. I just like exercise because I feel like it is fun and it's beneficial, and it just celebrating what my body can do. And I enjoy it so very much. Outside of work, I used to be a pretty big salsa and bachata dancer. I've actually taught and performed quite a few times in a couple of countries now. New Zealand, Cuba, here in the States. I was able to, get on stage in front of a lot of people. And it was a good time. It was fun. However, now these days, I've traded the dance floor for the mat. I train MMA, so mostly kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and I have a lot of fun with that because it is probably just a different form of exercise, and I love the camaraderie with the boys and the gals and just suffering together, getting a good workout, and learning some more technical aspects of fighting. I also like to ride my motorcycle. I should probably get that out of storage. It is summertime now, so the weather's right for it. Outside of exercise, I enjoy visiting my family, specifically my siblings. I have a little brother, an older sister, and 2 nephews. I enjoy spending time with my grandma and my other relatives, like my parents and aunts and uncles and cousins when I can see them. So that is definitely very, very important to me. What drew me to this field? All right, this is a tough. It's gonna get personal, but I think it's a mix of a personal struggle and a genuine fascination. Bodybuilding was really what got me into the science and research of it. And I think that was around 13. I got my first gym membership for my birthday present. So I probably started watching it when I was 11 or 12. And it probably started out as admiration and eventually shaped into something closer to body dysmorphia that I think I've just sort of recently have semi-successfully worked through. But this experience gave me a deep empathy for the psychological side of fitness as well, because as much of the physical science and metabolism and the progressive overload and the periodization, there's also a huge psychological part of being fit and confident and loving your body and how you show up in the world. And I can go on and on. But now I have a drive to help others navigate the relationship with their body, hopefully more healthfully than I did. If you were a high school wrestler or wrestled or did any sort of competitive combat sports, you know about cutting weight and how not fun that is when you have to drop, 15, 20 pounds in a few nights. And it's just not fun. But yeah, that combined with a lifelong fascination with how the human body works has got me into this field and has kept me in this field for over a decade now. So why Concordia St. Paul? Because it's an asynchronous online format, so I can work full time and pursue my doctorates. So that is really about flexibility and not really optional, right? You got to pay the bills and can't really afford to be a full-time student right now. So we're doing it part-time while we work. What else? What can I talk about for hours? Like many of you, probably something related to exercise science, right? Strength and conditioning science, bodybuilding, fat loss physiology, hormone and metabolic optimization, adaptive physical education for underserved populations. This is a more recent love and joy for me in the last, I would say, 3-ish years. Just seeing them thrive and grow and get pushed and, pass their perceived limits, I think is what I love to do. I think this is the most rewarding and fulfilling part of my current life, and I love to do it. And if you haven't tried it, you should try it out. They're a great group of people to work with. I also recently I enjoy researching peptides, different protocols, body recomposition, the gut-brain performance connection, the microbiome, and how it is so intertwined with your brain and your physiology that I'm very interested in. So yeah, it's an intersection of evidence-based practice with real-world coaching that I find the most. I wish I was a little bit more interesting and I had different hobbies, but it seems that my whole life has been going down this rabbit hole of exercise science and anything and everything related to it. Yeah, it all fascinates me, whether it's, glycogen depletion or elevation training. Just love it all. Love it all. Okay, what do I feel created to do? Help as many real people get real results. That's a big one for me. I just want to help people. And the only way I know how to do it really is through exercise science and fitness and health. I want to impact other people to the highest degree possible, and I want to help other people reach their highest potential. Whether as a teacher, as a coach, as a friend, I just like pushing the people around me to be the best versions of themselves. And I also want to make fitness and health as enjoyable as possible. I like to think I'm a fun guy, I'm a happy guy, I'm a motivational, inspirational kind of guy, and I want as much sweat as we might exude from our body. I think there should be just as many laughs and smiles, because that's what it's all about. You might as well enjoy it, right? I feel created to bridge the gap between clinical research and the gym floor to translate complex science into actionable strategies that actually change people's lives and bodies, whether it's working with a post-stroke athlete in adaptive PE or a physique competitor that's trying to dial in their peak week, get those extra gains. I'm built to coach, teach, and lead. Now on to potential dissertation topics. I don't know yet. There's so many to choose from, and it's daunting because we're going to spend the next 3 years studying this, writing into it, perfecting it, going it over and over again. So these are just a few of the things that popped into my head and that have kind of stirred up some interest. So progressive loading versus anti-inflammatory interventions for plantar fasciitis, arguing that it's actually a fasciosis rather than just inflammation. I think I have a lot of clients that could benefit from that, so that might be one route I go down. I really like the idea of thinking about carbohydrate periodization and metabolic flexibility across trained and untrained populations. I think there's always back and forth about more carbs, more fats, depends on what kind of athlete you are. What if you're not an athlete? Is it better to have higher fats? Does it matter if you're a man or a woman? What about hormone optimization? There's so much that goes into that. I think strength and conditioning outcomes and adaptive physical education settings as well. That's always fun. Hormone optimization, body composition in all athletes or non-athletes. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm getting into. I think it'd be really cool to get into the research of peptides. I think with the way AI is going, I think we're going to see a lot of new drugs coming out. I think new technology is coming out, and people don't have to spend so much research thinking about this carbon cell and this oxygen, and what about if it was an octagon or a hexagon shape. I think a lot of the AI is going to get that done for us, and we're going to have a lot of new drugs very quickly. and it's going to progress exponentially quickly. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, fears moving forward. Writing a high quality 100 to 200 page dissertation while living the rest of my life is going to be, it's daunting, right? I think everyone in this class is probably on the same boat. I think it's a lot to handle. And the second thing I would say is not feeling like a true expert just yet. And once we get the advisory board and we have people looking at our paper and sitting in those virtual rooms with people who have like been in academia for a long time. I've been in academia for I've been teaching at the community college level for 2 years, and this is like a doctorate's program. It feels like I have a lot of room to grow into here. So I built my identity in the weight room and on the gym floor, and it kind of just feels disorienting, kind of writing a research paper, I would say. And then just juggling this program alongside my teaching load, my online business, and all the coaching that I do. So there's also that part about vulnerability maybe, and putting my original research into the world and having it scrutinized. I could probably work on constructive criticism and how to handle that a little bit better, but that's a story for another time. So course expectations for Doc 7100 is to develop a higher level of functional literacy in research design and critical evaluation. I already am a highly skeptical individual when I'm reading research, and I'm always wondering how are the researchers or how are the people interpreting the research finagling and messing with the percentages or the changes of the intervention versus the control group, and how meaningful that actually is compared to what is the study actually saying. So developing that to a higher degree is really important. And I would say, so this is going to sharpen how I interpret the studies in my own coaching practice and strengthen my credibility about what I put forward, because what I want to put forward is something I want to be proud of, right? I want it to reference it, maybe have a little leather bound notebook with it in there so I can show it off to friends and family. I'm not really sure yet. But yeah, long term, I would like to be a tenured professor training the next generation of personal trainers and adaptive physical education instructors. And I think this is, one step towards that. And I really just want to become a leader in the field and help other students, graduates, and help guide them. So definitely have a long ways to go in that. I think I can help the everyday person understand it that doesn't know anything, but I want to help the people that are in our industry and in our field. I want to be kind of the go-to guy, something specific. So that's my expectations. And then for the other course that we are taking, 7410 Seminar 1, I think the goal is to pick a topic and start writing that introduction, because this is going to take 3 years. So that's the other expectation. My favorite food, just simple high protein meals. I'm a pretty basic guy. I don't eat very often for pleasure, but I do have some fun meals that I like to have. Desserts, I like desserts on the weekends, maybe some donuts before, and I like other fruit and all Asian food, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Mongolian, all of it. I love all of that stuff. So there you go. There is a 15-minute introduction. If you made it this far, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing all of you inside our virtual classroom. Take care.